Good morning, afternoon, wherever you're located. Let's get into some exciting stock market business today. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We'll let everyone kind of filter in here just for a minute before we get going. Let's take a look at these nice green numbers here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Going to be quite the, it's already quite the exciting day. How about Palantir, though? Not looking too shabby, up to 25 bucks. Sorry if there was an echo there for a second. Up to 25 bucks. I saw it earlier. It was at 26.24 earlier, but not looking too shabby for anyone who hopped in on Palantir at the same time that I did. However, we have to remember that this is still a long-term investment. So even if this thing tanks, 20% from here, that's okay. So we almost don't want to think too much about what the price is right now. Get caffeined up. What's going on, Neandronauts? Caveman Capital. Let's get into it. A nice green day here. AMC at almost $12. I know some of us maybe lost faith in AMC, but regaining faith now. Back in almost in the teens. Almost a teenager again. Yeah, we'll take a look at Roblox a little bit later. Hello everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Do we know what time Roblox is set to happen? Seen some estimates of their worth of close to $30 billion. Holy smokes. Taking a look at this article. What is Roblox worth? Maybe $29.3 billion. The New York Stock Exchange said late Tuesday that the reference price for Roblox, which is going public tomorrow at $45 a share, with about 652 million shares outstanding, the reference price indicates that Roblox market capitalization could be as much as $29.3 billion. Wow. Roblox will trade Wednesday on the New York Stock Exchange under RBLX. It's a solid ticker symbol. Existing shareholders have registered about 199 million shares for sale, but 388.2 million shares could potentially be sold. Unlike in a traditional IPO, the company isn't raising new capital via the offering. Instead, shareholders will sell the stock they already own. That's interesting. The $45 reference price doesn't mean that's where Roblox shares will begin trading. I was just about to say that. Don't expect to get in at 45 bucks. Rather, it's meant to be a guide that informs the public of recent private trading activity, according to a person familiar with the situation. So this probably is its legitimate worth, around that $45 mark. But what will we see this thing shoot up to today? I don't know, 75, 85, maybe even 100 bucks. When it finally opens to the general public hopping in. You have to be real careful with IPOs and hopping in. I mean, what is do we even have Bumble pinned here anymore? Yeah, Bumble's now at 62 bucks. They opened at 75. So you don't want that to happen. Because I know a lot of people opened at 75, then they finally were able to hop in at 78, and now it's down to 62. So you got to be real careful with those IPOs and the price that they open at. What else does it say here? Direct listings aren't new but have gained attention of late. Roblox will be the 5th company to go public using the method. Palantir Technologies, which my baby Palantir. Excuse me. Hopefully there's no boogers. Anyways, man, I got some allergies. Asana, Slack Technologies, ooh, that's also a good ticker symbol, and Spotify Technology. All use direct listings to make their public equity market debuts. Companies typically don't raise capital via direct listings, although in December, the Securities and Exchange Commission approved of a rule change proposed by the New York Stock Exchange that allows a company to do so. Looks like I don't see a time when that's actually going to happen, though. Let's see here. See if anyone Does anyone know what time it's actually going to open? I know sometimes that actually gets pushed back too. Looks like we don't see 11 a.m. It's past 11 a.m. Eastern. 11 a.m. what time zone? Yeah, it's a good day for Tesla share holders too. I thought about buying some 2 days ago. I probably should have, but then I was like, you know what? I already went so heavy in on Palantir. Palantir. Let's see what I'm at right now. Who here bought into Palantir when I first started talking about it like last week? I need to know. Let's see a share of hands. Let's see what I'm at right now. Log into my brokerage account here real quick. As of right now, I'm sitting up 12% on Palantir. I know it was up like 19% earlier today at one point. Let's go. All right. Oh, you bought it last month. Well, awesome. Congratulations to everyone who's up right now. You're probably up at least 10%. Are you going to put on the U.S. Treasury bond auction 10 a.m. Central or 10 Central time? It's past 10 Central time right now. It's already past 10 Central. Well, congrats to everyone who's in Palantir. I'm happy to pull up whatever you guys want to take a look at. So we also have something interesting here happening today. The stimulus bill is going to be voted on in the House sometime in the next few hours. They have a few hours of debate before that, so I'm keeping my eyes on that. Of course, I have to stay in tune with all things stimulus as well. So we'll pop in on that vote back and forth. The vote hasn't started. They're just debating it right now. As of right now, it's just mostly conservatives trying to explain why they don't like the bill. But it'll pass. Okay, so the 10-year bond auction starts in 20 minutes. Yeah, we can take a look at that. Did I ever look into esports entertainment? Not like a in-depth thing. Yesterday, I spent a ton of time looking into crypto lending, like trying to become more and more versed with crypto lending. So I'm kind of dabbling in it just to get my feet wet, just to see how legitimate it is before I like put anything out there, because I don't want anyone to, follow what I'm doing and then lose money or something like that. Now, there are more legitimate, like, I don't want to say certain ways are more legitimate and not, but the gold standard for crypto lending is BlockFi. They will lend out your Bitcoin and you'll get like a 6 to 8% return. But there are other websites where you can rent out certain different cryptocurrencies for very high interest rates, like 60% annual interest rates, crazy interest rates. And that's kind of what I'm just dipping my toes in to figure out and see how it works. So I'll have more on that pretty soon here. Is the market going straight up from now on or going down again this Friday? I wish I knew that answer. If I knew, I would definitely let you guys know. Let's see if I can find just a link to this bond auction. If no one buys them, then the interest goes up higher. I know that there was some foreign interest in buying our bonds. I mean, with the rates increasing, there's the potential there. I mean, you still have to remember only 1.5%. It's pretty low. Let's see what Barron's has to say about the 10-year Treasury auction. Here's an article on it. All eyes seem to be on the Treasury auction today at 1 p.m., which is Eastern 11. Wait, that'd be 11 a.m. this time zone, so 2 hours from now, right? Yeah. The sale matters for a few reasons. First is that treasuries have been selling off in recent weeks, driving up the 10-year yield by about 40 basis points or hundredths of a percentage point since February 10th. The iShares 20+ year Treasury Bond Exchange Traded Fund, ticker TLT, has lost 6.8% in that time. I don't have a membership, unfortunately, to Barron's. Now, we can probably watch that on C-SPAN, I assume. Let's just see. Most things are on C-SPAN. I'm actually not seeing it as an event. Let's see here. Schedule. It was at... Yeah, I'm not seeing it as an event, actually, on C-SPAN. That's odd. If someone knows where we can actually watch this Treasury bond auction, let me know. Let's see here. I was just on the Fed website. Let me see if I can... The Federal Reserve Live. Okay. February 10th at 2 p.m. This is a speech by Jerome Powell. News and events. Let's see here. Let's check out. Oh, Palantir had a little bit of a sell-off just now. I mean, throughout the day. GameStop popping off. Dang, we're up in the 300s again. That is absolutely nuts. That is absolutely nuts. Can someone email me the link to this bond auction? Email it to me at maxmahershow@gmail.com if you can find that event. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time finding this. I also know it's not the most interesting thing if I'm over here searching. Someone says, you say Palantir good long 5 to 7 years, right? Yeah, exactly. I think we honestly, as exciting as it is, like that it's had a few good days, we almost should put that in back of mind and, you know, just like mentally remember the next 3 days could be terrible. We have to stay the course. And, you know, I have no intention of selling for several years unless we happen to see an insane price spike to where it goes to prices where I just think are absolutely unjustified, then maybe I would consider selling. But we're not in that range right now. We are not in that range right now. You know, like if we had like a price to sale, you know, if it hit a price to sales of maybe like, I don't know, 100, 120, where it's like, okay, that is just far from justified, then I'd feel comfortable potentially selling and buying back later. But even that, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I would even want to time that. But I'll let you guys know if, you know, what I end up doing with that position. Let me add Roblox here. On the good old watch list. Let's see here. Sometimes they kind of hold off on trading for a while before it actually opens. There. So we got Roblox right there. Let me add this to the title because I'm sure we'll be talking about it later. There we go. Welcome everyone joining. Welcome, welcome. Make sure you hit that like button on the darn stream. And subscribe if you haven't already. Roblox's valuation is absolutely insane. This person says we could take a look at that. Yeah, thank you, Oscar. If you're looking for that bond auction link, please email that to me once you find it, maxmahershow@gmail.com. I think we still have some time. It said 1 p.m. Let's look at, I don't even know if we should have some kind of financials for their direct offering. Let's see. Let's see what their S1 says. This is going to be pretty dense, so I'm going to try to just go through it quickly. Revenue of $589 million. I want to see a profit and loss. All right, revenue. Whenever I'm looking at these sheets and it's not on MarketWatch and you don't get to see those nice little graphs on the side that show, you know, the chart just makes it so much easier to, at a glance, get an idea. But revenue, this has got to be in the thousands. Yeah, in the thousands. So $500 million in revenue in 2020 with a valuation of $40 billion. Holy smokes. I'm assuming no net income. There can't be. Interest income, provision income, net loss. Okay, so $200 million in net loss. So what was the exact valuation? I think it was 45 billion. Let's see what they say as far as the price range here. Roblox. Okay, so this is saying 30 billion opening. So it's going to be much higher than that, but let's just do some math what their price to sales is. These calculators are never, I'm just going to have to use the browser calculator. So 30, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a lot of zeros. Divided by 558 million in sales. Price to sales of 53, which isn't the craziest we've ever seen. Shopify is like 98 or something like that. Obviously it fluctuates, but not the craziest. Still pretty crazy. But we also have to remember that's opening price. I mean, this could easily turn into 40 billion once people can actually buy shares. So that would bring it up to a price to sales of 71, which now you're getting into the absolutely insanity range. And their growth, revenue growth, I mean, it's pretty solid. Looks, well, except for year ended. Oh, this is 9 months ended. Okay, so that's, sorry, that math wasn't totally correct. Let's add 25% to that revenue figure and recalculate it a little bit just so we can get this accurate. So we're just going to add 25% to 558 million just to estimate total annual earnings. That's 697 million. So that's going to change it a little bit. 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 divided by 697, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's a price of sales of 43. Still in the high range. Honestly, it doesn't really change my opinion about this too much. If we, bump that up to $40 billion in valuation, 57 price to sales, my humble opinion would be, if you're interested in buying into Roblox, let the dust settle before you hop in. You know, maybe even like a couple weeks, let the dust settle and then hop in. What's a recommended buy-in? Price-wise, I mean, you know, realistically, with a price to sales, if you're banking on a lot of growth, 40, you know, if a price to sales of 40 signifies that you're very optimistic in the company. A price to sales of 90 signifies you think like this is going to be the company of the century, basically, in my opinion. So, you know, a price to sales of 40 would be basically the opening price, so $45, but I'm assuming it's going to actually be much higher than that before it actually opens. All right. Let's see if there's any other interesting stuff on here. Like I said, these things are pretty dense, so it doesn't make for the best live stream if I'm reading. Our corporate culture has contributed to our success. Oh yeah. There was just a couple of designs that have been sent in so far. If you send in any like t-shirt or mug or other merch designs and I end up using it, I will send you $100 on the spot. So if you're a creative person, if you want to incorporate the Neanderthals, the, you know, caveman capital, if you want to make a caveman floating in space where his tether snapped and, you know, just like floating, go for it, and I'll give you a little reward for it. All right. I almost like, as much as, you know, when I think about the share price of Palantir, just, you know, my initial look, I'm like, oh, I wish that was up like 10% today. But then I have to check myself and be like, no, I don't want very many 10% days, because then we're just going to ask for another crash. Like, I would way rather just small, little incremental, even 3%. It's like, it could have some kind of correction. I'd rather just be like, let's just get 0.5% a day until it gets up to a nice, reasonable level, and then just steady increase. That's what I want to see. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. This thing's probably going to be all over the place. But GameStop at 328. There's got to be some big winners here in the live stream. Oh, you know what we should do? If there's any, like, if you're a huge winner of the week or the day, like, you know, you bought some GameStop shares or AMC shares or something else, and you had a big win, send me a screenshot of it to Max Maher Show, and I'll pick a couple and we'll go on the line here and celebrate your wins, because I think that's cool. It's fun to do on the big gain days, to celebrate some wins. So maybe you're up 20 grand, maybe you're up 200 grand. What are we calling a big win? I would say you're up, I don't know, more than 20 grand. That's enough for everyone to be like, oh, heck yeah. Fed Live. Still didn't find this bond auction. What is the 10-year rate at right now? I know it's still been increasing. 10-year bond rate, let's see here, looking at 1.527%, so it actually decreased a little bit. Oh, this is midday. Let's put it on the 1 month. So we just about touched 1.6%, which is pretty wild considering that this was at 1.1% only a month ago. Oh, wow. And it's been as low as 0.67%. So if this keeps increasing, especially I think once we get around the 2.3% range, let's see here. P to E of S&P. That's a lot of, probably sounds like gobbledygook. So if we take the P to E 39, what are the actual numbers though? So we need the total market capitalization of the S&P 500. Earnings to, we need actually the earnings to price ratio. So, I guess I could do some math. Doing math live because I don't know where the chart is here. So what divided by so what, let's say 100 divided by X equals 39.79. We multiply 39.79 times X, 100. Okay. Bust out the calculator. This is getting somewhere. Hold with me here for a second. All right, so this would be 2.5% is the average rate of return right now in the S&P 500, based on my little notebook math here, because I couldn't find a chart for it. So that's if you take the total market capitalization of all the S&P 500 divided, or sorry, the opposite, the total earnings of the S&P 500 companies divided by the total market capitalization. This gives you an expected rate of return of 2.5% if you were to just buy into the S&P 500, which sounds fairly low, but something important to remember about stocks and bonds is traditional investors buy one or the other. They kind of hedge against each other. So once we see this 10-year treasury bond creep up to these rates, the 2.5% rate, this is when we really need to be concerned about the stock market having a correction. You know, once this gets up to the 2%, 2.3% range, where, you know, that equilibrium is getting closer and closer, especially if we get over 2.5%, that's when we're going to see some big money, institutional investors, smart money, move over and purchase more and more bonds. And that will put a downward pressure on the stock market. So something important to remember. Let's see here. Yeah, almost 200,000 subscribers. I'm working my butt off over here to smash that 200,000 mark. Someone said, I applied for the PPP last week and haven't heard from them. I know a lot of people have just received emails today, just received funding today from that Fastlane program. So if you received an email to reapply, if they're saying your best bet is to reapply using that funding circle, just do it. What will happen is you'll just have multiple applications in and you'll just get the first one. And it takes like 5 minutes, so you might as well do it. But what they're saying right now is if it says it's pending or they're reviewing it, you just have to wait. Unfortunately, basically what happened was they received tons and tons of applications. The SBA doesn't process applications on the weekend, and they had to wait for individual lenders to change their systems with all the rule changes, and then they're the middleman who's like waiting and waiting and waiting, and this is where we are. But I know they're going through the list because I've received probably 40 messages today from people who are like, I got funded, so it's getting better. Let's see here. Let me know if that made sense with the returns on the stock market and the bonds, if you have any questions there. I'll give any insights I might have. Let's see here. HT, I know that you had some huge gains with AMC. Weren't you in at like $3 or something just wild? You got to be sitting pretty. Let's see what's going on here. We got a nice George W. Kind of a faint W. Oh, you can't even really see it that much when you zoom in. It's like the crescendo. How about stimulus announced in 60 minutes will blow up the market? I doubt it'll blow up the market because everyone is already expecting it to be passed. And remember, the markets move based on expectations. So the fact that I and everyone else, and probably everyone watching, already knows it's going to be passed, it's already absorbed into the market. So I think we already saw that absorption on Monday. And really a lot of the absorption when the House initially voted. We'll probably see a somewhat of an uptick, because we're not 100% certain, but we're 99% certain that this thing gets passed. What we might see happen once the checks are actually received, a large portion of people, I should actually do a poll on my community page as to what will you spend your stimulus check on. I'm curious because I know a large portion of people are planning to spend their stimulus check on investments, and that could have a fairly significant increase. I actually saw an article that said, based on the percentage of people saying that they're going to invest in stocks with their stimulus check, we'll be looking at an additional at least $30 to $50 billion that will be placed into the stock market. So that's enough to move the needle just a little bit anyways. Or maybe I'll do that poll once it's completely official. No need to jump the gun there. Thoughts on airline stocks like Air Canada? My favorite airline stock is Southwest Airlines. I have a decent position in them, and I'm actually up like 60% from earlier this year. Let me just pull them up here real quick. They hit the 60s here just recently. They touched the 60s. Let me pull this out to the day. Oh, they actually touched the 60s earlier today again too, looks like. My average price per share is 30 something, 38, something like that. But I bought in a decent position into Southwest in January of last year before the pandemic. And then it went down like 40%. And then when it was like in the pits here, I doubled my position, averaging the price to 30 something, 38, 37, something like that. And boom, here we are at 60. Now, this price might be a little bit higher than justified right now. I should probably dig in and see what my price target is, but frankly, I don't care too much just because I just plan on holding it. Let's see here. I bought some more Bitcoin too. Like, what day was it? Must have been 2 days ago. Only like $1,000, but even that's up right now. Oh, dang. So it's up like 14% or something. That's not too shabby. Let's see here. Following up on the PPP, I received an email from a third party called Horizon Funding Group asking me to find a different lender because they found errors in your SBA loan application. You might want to send that email or like a screenshot of it to the Womply support. That doesn't sound familiar to me, but you might want to just verify that with them. So really hoping Palantir can go just below 25 so I can buy an even amount. I would not be surprised if we see another couple down days, maybe see it again in the 23, 24 range. But I think we're probably going to get back up to the potential 40s within a couple months if I were to guess. I don't want to I wouldn't put money on that bet that it's going to do that in the next couple months, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I'm in it for the long term. Thank you, John. I appreciate you. You do not have to drop super chats. This is enjoyable for me. How's the bond sale going? I don't think it's started yet. I think it said it started at 1 p.m. Eastern, which would be an hour from now. They're still debating the stimulus bill. Let's just tune into this just for a brief second. If I can find my headphones. Oh yeah, they're on my head. That would be where they are.
Oh, yes.
Excuse that.
I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from Massachusetts reserves. Gentleman from South Carolina is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 1 minute to the gentlelady from West Virginia, Mrs. Miller.
Gentlewoman from West Virginia is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to speak against H.R. 1319, Pelosi's progressive payoff, and in support of America's gig economy. Not only is this a costly bill full of liberal wish list items.
There's not a single Republican vote for this bill, so there's a lot of people who are very against that on the Republican conservative side. But at this point, you know. If you just started your business, can you get a PPP loan? No, you have to have started before February 15th, 2020. Someone says, how can I find out exactly what PPP is? I mean, you could look at my page. I don't even know, probably 30 videos on it. You could start there. How am I feeling about my Palantir position so far? Are you adding more? Now, I probably won't add more unless we see a huge dip. When I bought in, it was right at the peak of what I consider to be the good valuation range. I wouldn't have, I'm in at like 22.50 or something like that. I don't consider that like the perfect buy-in point, but I also kind of looking at this like I don't think it's going to go a whole lot lower. But if it does, I've heard a few people say, hey, that thing's going to go down to 16 bucks. If it does, then I'll buy more and just average down. But I have such a large position in it right now. I'm not super worried about adding more or like FOMO or anything like that. GameStop up just teetering on 40%. Holy smokes. 31 million. Oh, this is on the day. Duh. I'm like in a minute. Okay. Look at that. Got the trending upwards W. What do I think of NVOS? Heavily shorted, low float, and short interest 150%. Let's see if I can pull something up here. NVOS, yeah. The borrow fee for NVOS is 59% right now. Super expensive to borrow. Holy smokes. However, at least according to Fintel, the short volume is only 18% right now, which, I mean, isn't low. 19% it says there. Isn't necessarily low, but, I'm not sure where you're seeing 150%. The part of this, though, with the cost to borrow so high, availability, how much is availability? 75,000 shares. This will discourage additional shorters from hopping on because it's just so expensive to borrow. Let's see if it has the short interest. Days to cover is 4. So this is saying the short interest is less than 1%. See, that's what's frustrating about these short numbers. I don't even know what to believe. Oh, nice. Gary Long, Palantir, 500 shares at $16.60. Nice. Welcome, Not That Stop, says they're new here. I appreciate you joining. Let's see here. Do I think do I have this already pinned? This is Zomedica, right? Yeah. Do I think it's a good short-term play? I mean, man, short-term plays are so hard to guess. Let's just see if we can find any like support or resistance points here. Down 2% for the day. I mean, I know I hear people talk about Zomedica very frequently. Looks like we have some support right at like $2. But man, I mean, let's see, peak at $2.10. So we've been up to $2.90. I guess the upside potential is, upwards of 30%. This could have the potential for an upward swing, short-term play. But man, I always hesitate to give any firm opinions on the short term because it's just so hard to tell. It is odd that it's having a down day when most things are green. Oh, welcome, BH. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. What do I think of VISL? Let's check that out. Oh, thank you, HT. Says your video on crypto exchanges and wallets was awesome. I appreciate that. That video took a long time to make, so thank you. I plan on posting more and more kind of crypto content because I'm just getting more and more interested in it. So, VizLink Technologies. Pull this over here. It's an American company that focuses on delivering and managing live video. The company changed its name from XG Technology to VizLink Technologies in 2019. Okay. Don't see any super recent news. Let's see here. Check out the Market Watch. Market cap 146 million. Revenue per employee is okay. It's not the greatest ever. A negative operating margin, that's always something to be slightly concerned about, especially if that's coupled with a lot of debt. So we'll check into that in a second. So here's, of course, a concern as well, decreasing sales. So in my opinion, the only time a company should ever see a growth style valuation is if they have increasing sales. So it's a huge warning sign to me if a company has decreasing sales and a valuation that errs on the growth side. Basically, it's not based on earnings, it's based on future. Because, just logically, if you were to look at this, if you were going to base a price just on future, you would think the price was going to go down because their sales are decreasing, at least in the 5-year trend. Maybe it's different in the quarterly trend. Kind of flat in the 5-quarter trend. So it looks like their 2020 numbers probably aren't going to be a whole lot better than 2019, if that. So the one caveat there is if you were to dig into it and they did some kind of transition. Now, we saw this with sundial growers who they transitioned from very wholesale sales of their flower to more retail sales. And because of that transition, they saw about 2 quarters where sales decreased dramatically, despite before that quarterly increases of sales jumping up very dramatically. So in that case, it's kind of justified. Okay, they're transitioning something over maybe to a more profitable kind of way of operating their business. Then it sometimes still has a justifiable growth price. So you would have to dig into this, listen to some earnings calls, and figure out if that's the case. If that's not the case, I tend to avoid, because it's probably going to trend in the direction it's trending unless there's some kind of fundamental change. Let's take a quick look at their debt. Total liabilities. So their debt isn't horrible compared to revenues. So the negative operating margin isn't the biggest issue ever, but you would want to figure out why they're trending in that direction. Any non-investment advice on what someone may want to do with 800 shares of GE at $6.93 with the 8-to-1 revenue split they just proposed? Makes no sense to me. So do they do an 8-to-1 stock split? Let's see. Oh, proposing reverse stock split. Let's check this out. Shares of General Electric Co. slumped Wednesday after the industrial conglomerate confirmed a $30 billion deal with AirCap Holdings, while also surprisingly proposing an 8-for-1 reverse stock split. So, let's see. The GE stock swung, dropped 6% in the morning, trading, put it on track for the biggest one-day decline since September 21st, 2020, when it fell 7.7%. The decline comes after the stock had rallied 11.6% in March through Tuesday, including a 3-year high close of, wow, it's had a wild few days here. The reverse split might surprise investors because they are usually reserved for companies concerned that their stock price could or have fallen below thresholds that might lead mutual fund investors to shun the stock or prompt. Wonder if they said why they're doing that. But you have to remember, other than just sentiment, the stock split doesn't change the business. It doesn't change how much your earnings are. You'll just have fewer shares worth the same amount. So I guess let's look up. I'm not really familiar with their financials, at least recently. So, it could be a potential to hop in. So they have a decreasing 5-year trend, pretty dramatically decreasing. 5-quarter trend, it looks like there's a little bit of I need to be more conscious of making sure that's visible, a little bit of an uptrend in the recent quarters, but not super dramatically. We saw a 7% increase, 13% increase. So if they could continue that would be wonderful. Total liabilities. So their liabilities are shrinking, which is good as well. So, without spending too much time digging on that, I would say if their fundamentals haven't changed much, if it doesn't seem like they're tanking, if whatever reason you bought in is still there, it seems like it's probably just a short-term dip because maybe people are concerned. But, I mean, GE is still huge, so... Let's see here. Just checking out the questions here in the chat. Max, do you think earnings will cause AMC to dip? I don't think it'll matter that much. If you asked me last week, I probably did say absolutely no, it won't. With the price a little bit higher now, it may be a little bit more sensitive to potential bad earnings call. However, would anyone at all be surprised that they're going to have low earnings or negative earnings? I know I'm not surprised. Wouldn't be surprised at all. I don't know what's going on right now. We're seeing a bit of a sell-off here. So I don't think it's going to have a massive effect. People in on AMC are either there just to be part of something. They're there because they like the business. They're there because it's a recovery play. You name it, they're there because of that reason. So, I don't think it's going to have a huge issue. And I don't mind asking, or I don't mind answering PPP questions. Someone says they applied and wondering if they can go back and recalculate using gross income. So yes, but there's a little bit of variability here. If it's already been approved through the SBA, you can't go back. If you let's say just applied yesterday, then you probably can go back and apply again. So it's kind of up in the air. But also remember, there's kind of a time crunch here because it ends on the 31st. So my recommendation is, if you have already, so if you just applied for the first round of PPP and it's based on net income, and redoing it would mean you'd have to apply for the first round and then the second round, you probably don't have enough time. So in that situation, if I was in that situation, I probably would accept the lower amount and then immediately apply for the second round of PPP. If you applied for the second round and it was based on net income, you haven't accepted it yet, then I would probably just reapply and use the gross income calculations. Let's see here. Sorry, I missed the GME halt. I was going off on a tangent. But, I mean, even with that, we're still up 20%. So let's go to the 1 minute, see what's going on in the... What's the volume looking like? 850,000. A lot of volume on that sell-off. Holy smokes. Am I as bullish on Mavis as Trey is? I actually haven't spent the time to really dig into MVIS yet, so I hesitate to give firm opinions unless I've spent so much time digging in. How's the CDL, local job market in Phoenix? I know a lot of people are looking to hire drivers, so hot. Most companies are just trying to hire in general here. There's a low supply of workers. Okay, Palantir's come back down to earth a little bit. It looks like there's just kind of a midday sell-off for everything right now. Well, here's those $24, $23 price ranges that I was expecting to see again. So you go. Any opinions on the 3D printing industry as a whole? I like the industry just in general. I probably should look into some kind of 3D printing index fund. Either that, like the thing I think about with industries, I am personally of the belief that people do not spend enough time on due diligence for their various investments. There's so many exciting industries. You know, you got the flower industry, you got 3D printing, you got electric cars, you got just anything that's exciting right now. It takes taking in so much information to find like the couple good companies within an industry and just learning about that industry that it's like kind of impossible to know all these industries. But then that's where you can hop into an index fund. If you're just like, I like that industry, let me just hop in, you know. Can you help me? Hi, Neander Max. What's up? Can you help me analyze CMC.CN? They convert garbage into biodiesel fuel and do so without making CO2 emissions. Good for our planet. I mean, we can pull it up. I'm not a biodiesel expert, but it's not my main gig anyways. Only on the weekends. So I'm assuming this is it. Yeah. Well, we got some craziness going on here. I guess we got 5 minutes if this just suspended, though. Oh, AMC's now negative? Oh, my Lord. It's now negative for the day? Jesus. This one's probably going to get suspended, too. Oh, no. I mean, we were just up. How? I feel like this has got to be right on the brink of being suspended. Holy smokes. I'm pulling up this other stock on the side here while we leave this up. Okay, now we're seeing a little bit of buying here for AMC. I'm surprised that didn't get suspended. It had to have been very close. Celia Waste Solutions. Okay, I had to pull it up on Yahoo Finance. I mean, sorry to say, there's not really any financials to look at here. I'll do a little bit of digging, but it's very hard to do a valuation without, you know, steady financials. Celia Waste. Okay, we're seeing some buying. We're getting out of this pit a little bit. Now we're up 2% for the day. What a wild ride. I bet Palantir is getting some buying now too. Just a little bit. Holy smokes. There's Tyson Foods though, just chugging along as it does. Okay, here we go. People buying the pit. Could that have been some kind of short attack? Possibly. Definitely could be. So don't mind me over here. I'm looking at this investor presentation so I can leave this up while I see if I can find any info. Do 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 do. So they're still in the R&D phase, this biodiesel company. Completed operations. They just built a facility, it looks like. Okay, so it looks like they're expecting revenues this year. But man, I mean, it's very hard to give an educated opinion on this. I would look to see if there's other industry players doing something similar that are successful with it. If not, how is this company positioned? What are the odds of it actually, turning profitable? What's the desire for this kind of thing? There's unfortunately a lot of questions to ask. Price for TLRY logically. TLRY has been a real bummer for me. I bought about $2,000 worth and that turned into about $1,200. That's what happens when I don't do my diligence and I just buy in. I mean, to be honest, we're probably at a price that's justified, which could be a good buy-in point. Which also probably means if you're in it like I am, it's a long road to recouping your money. Oh no, what is going on here? I feel like it's gonna be suspended again. Well, I mean, is this short ladder attacks? I guess it could be. I think it's impossible to know. I guess this may be a good, after the dust settles a little bit here, because we don't know if it's going to drop further, but there could be a potential buy-in point here. Holy. I would say let the dust settle, though, first. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who bought right here, and now they're like, oh, don't be that guy. AMC, just a wild ride as well. Let's turn this into a nasty George W, why don't we? Nasty George W. Jeez. Thank you, Hemin Collection. I appreciate you. SLGG, check their investor deck. All right, I'll do that. See if I can find this thing. See if I can find their investor presentation. Here we go. I think this is it. Yeah. All right, Super League Gaming. Oh, I hate to pull away from this GameStop, though. It's going to have to wait a minute. Do I have any resources for estimating the cost of monthly pool service and repair work estimates? The way that we typically did it was we would have a base rate. Like, we wouldn't charge less than whatever your base rate is, $100 a month. And then we would just do add-ons, like That would be $100 a month if everything is working perfectly. There's no like weird stuff. But then if there's like nearby trees, we might add an extra $10 a month. So just like a base rate plus add-ons. And then for repairs, we basically would just whatever the price was for that part. If you're replacing like a filter and it's $200, we would just add like 40% to it, plus some labor, plus your hourly rate of labor, whatever you want that to be, $50 an hour or something like that. All right. Man, we went from plus 30% to minus 12.5%. What is going on here? This is absolute, like how quickly this can turn. Palantir is about to go negative, it seems, too. Just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Yeah, maybe I need to change Green Day from the title. I probably should. Jeez. What should I change it from? Let me know. I got to change this from Green Day to something else, like "Oh no," or give me a short phrase that I can change this thing to. Free fall, that's pretty good. Gosh, what is going on here? Okay, I'm using free fall. That was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, anyone who has held these for the last 2 months, though, has been here before. So it's almost like, we've been here. We've been down to $40. We've been up to $450 and everything in between. So, oh, man. Might be time. Okay, let's distract ourselves a little bit and look at this SLGG investor presentation here real quick. Super League Gaming. I know a lot of people have mentioned this in the streams recently. Monetization, $3 billion. Average millennial gamers spend a total of 29 total on gaming content, 29 of which is spent in donation to video content creators. Holy smokes. I didn't realize it was that big. I need to start a gaming channel. Gaming is bigger than movies and TV. That I've heard that before. It's like the biggest industry by far. Powerful partners and investors. Now, what does Super League Gaming actually do? Do they own IP? I'm actually not super familiar with them. Key growth. Continue to grow audience and engagement. Increase monetizable ad inventory. Increase B2C, business to consumer, RPU. It looks like they have some hard hitter executives. I'm not super familiar with what they actually do, though. Community and content platform. Oh, okay. I see. All right. Oh my gosh. Now we're down 20%. We literally had a 50% swing here. This is absolutely bonkers. Let me just zoom this out a little bit. Oh my Lord. What is happening? I guess all I have to say is remember why you invested. If the fundamentals haven't changed, then your opinion shouldn't change as to whether this is a good buy or not. This seems like some kind of attack to me. You know, I'm far from the biggest conspiracy theorist here on YouTube. In fact, I kind of get crapped on for not following those theories enough. I mean, we have to remember we've only lost 2 days of gains, though. 2 big days of gains, but you know, 172 still isn't a terrible price. Just relative, that's when it gets scary. AMC down 5%, kind of weathering the storm a little bit better. We've been seeing this recently where AMC just doesn't see the same swings, you know, where GameStop is like, AMC is like kind of, so you got, I don't think I have the coordination to I don't think I have the coordination to do this. So if it's like, there, that's what I tried to do. That probably didn't look like anything. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, this is just absolutely nuts. Well, I mean, if it ends the day like this, it's definitely going to be on that SSR short seller restriction list. So there's something. Oh, here's a bit on Roblox. We can, oh, jeez. CNBC with their damn commercials. Oh, didn't mean to say that. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. Roblox still is not open. This person says, sorry, just getting on, thoughts on Roblox. I think if you were able to buy in at $45, it's probably not too shabby, but I think it probably is going to open much higher, 70, 80, 90 bucks, and that seems far overvalued to me. I would say if you're interested in Roblox, let the dust settle, like for a couple weeks and see where it's at. That would be my opinion. Yeah, you know, this is true that bonds are for boomers, but they're also for huge institutions that have way more money than all of us on this stream combined. So it does make a difference. Oh no, yeah, you can the members on the chat. Yeah, this is definitely a good time to do that emoji with the tanking price. Jeez. I was trying to find the bond auction, and I can't find the actual live. Oh, maybe this is it? No, this isn't it. See if I can find this bond. 10-year bond. Why can I not find this? I'm usually pretty good at my Google Foo, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't find the bond auction. We might just have to wait for the results if we can't find the live, or unless someone has. Oh, AMC's recovering. Unless someone has a link, they can email me, maxmahershow@gmail.com. Apparently, Roaring Kitty tweeted. Let's see. This is his tweet from a minute ago. I better get this off before I get a content frickin' strike. And this was 2 hours ago. He was feeling good 2 hours ago. Roblox is not tradable yet. We can see it just has not started yet. So we're seeing, looks like maybe a little bit of buying back here. I don't know why my voice sounded like that for a second. Okay, we might have hit the pit. We might have hit the pit. Looks like AMC is rebounding. Oh yeah, taking some real healthy steps up. Okay, we're positive now for AMC. I think this is going to give it a nice big trajectory. Oh, now we're not. We're floating on positive though. Someone says, can I buy GME now? Thanks. You can do whatever you want to do. Looks like the dust has settled a bit. You know, if you want to be a little bit more safe, you could wait a couple minutes and see, you know, if we build a little level of support here. But I mean, with a day like this where we've seen a 50% swing, you know, 30% up, 20% down, I mean, this could go anywhere. I don't know if we have necessarily a level of support here at our current price. It's hard to say. Yeah, I guess maybe all the way back to the 8th. And then our next potential level of support would be 145, 149-ish bucks. Okay, so we're seeing some big buy-in here. Let's see here. Come on, get over. What's the volume like? Ton of, okay, look at that buy volume. Holy smokes, 1.2 million in volume on GameStop. That is huge for 1 minute. Huge. This minute was 46,000. That's actually really low. Wow. Okay, there's people buying the dip. Absolutely. This is an indication of buying the dip and just refueling that rocket ship. Wow. But you can see there's a big fight here with buys and sells because that candle is so small. Wow. What's the volume for the day been so far? So for the day, 40 million in volume. We have more volume already today than we did yesterday. And about 2/3 of the volume we had 2 days ago. Wow. We're probably going to be, there's probably going to be a 100% turnover in volume because there's only 69 million shares. Jesus. This site I'm using is Webull. That's what I have pinned on the chat where it says want free stonks. If you open an account, you'll get 2 free stocks, and I'll get a free stock. So if you want to give me a little thanks, there you go. Also, if you're into crypto at all, pinned in the description is BlockFi, where you can earn like 8% interest on your Bitcoin. It's pretty freaking cool. I just transferred $1,000 in. Let me pull up just so I can make sure my numbers are accurate there. Oh yeah, we're seeing some buy-in. Okay. People are buying the dip, buying that absolute dipski. Okay, so here we go. This is a BlockFi. I just transferred this in on Sunday, I think. $1,200, and I've made 62 cents in interest in just a couple days. So that's kind of cool on my $1,200 in Bitcoin. Plus my Bitcoin has gone up like 12% or something in that period of time. So that's pretty cool. I have a whole video breaking down everything you'd want to know about getting into that if you're interested as well on my channel. It's called how to buy and store Bitcoin safely. I just posted it Sunday or something like that. Palantir swinging back up 2%. Since I wanted to sign up, but BlockFi has their sign up halted. That's weird. Let me check that out real quick. I haven't heard that issue yet. Let me just check out the link. No, it seems to be working on mine. You might want to just try again. It looks like it's working here. If you want to make an account, again, that's in the description. Has anyone received money from Womply? Yeah, tons of people actually received it today and yesterday. If you look at the comments of any of my PPP videos, there's tons of people who are like, got funding today. Whoop, whoop. Most of the people who got funding today applied on like the 2nd or 3rd, which is actually insane how fast they receive funding, because the expected time at the SBA is like 18 days. So it's insane that they already received funding. Let's see here. Someone says, got my free stocks from Webull. Got GNW and AR. Thank you, Max. No, thank Webull. That's pretty awesome. Congratulations. I actually got like a $50 stock just today. What was the stock? Let me see. They sent me a $50 one for free. NYT. That was pretty cool. $50. Yeah, BlockFi takes a while to clear deposits, and then takes even longer to actually send you your bonus, because your bonus, you get anywhere between $15 and $250 in free Bitcoin. Your bonus is based on your monthly average in funds the first month. So like you have to have funds in there for a month before they send you the bonus. Okay, here we go. We're in the positives now. Holy, this has just been a wild swing. Well, congrats to anyone who bought that dip there. I have to change the title again. Okay, we want to change it from stocks free fall to what? Let me know, because now we're on the upswing. We got a real bipolar trading session today. Oh, stock Rollercoaster, maybe Stonk Rollercoaster. There we go, Stonk Rollercoaster. Good old GameStop popping off. Let's see here. 1.7 million in volume in 1 minute. That is bonkers. And Bitcoin is up 6% again today. Stonk madness. That's not stonk schizophrenia. That's not bad either. AMC, now we're in the green. Okay, we saw a little sell-off on this buy rally. Let's just whip out Fibonacci and see what he's got to say about this. Okay, it's crazy how close this thing is, just always. So we saw a little 23% decline. I'm just going to leave that there and see where it leads us. Unfortunately, the soundtrack, you know, I can play some New Abyss songs here for us, because I just got so many copyright strikes that it's not even worth it, despite the fact that I have rights to use all these songs. But let me play a few songs from one of our listeners here. Yeah, how's Trey doing? Here, let me text Trey here real quick. Let me text Trey. You seeing these stonks? Oh, it autocorrect to stinks. Come on, stonks in the last half hour? 4 question marks. Stinks. Let's see here. Nubis, can you send me a link to wherever you want your want people to be directed? That way I know for future references. Ooh, he's got me. Sent me something. Cannot wait. All right, let's see here. GameStop. Trey says, craziest manipulation I think I've ever seen. Ducking insane. I'm going to say my stream said I needed to text you. And check in. All right, soundcloud.com/noob. Let me just add that. Then we can play some of your songs. All right. Let's play some music here for our nice little rally. Okay, what song, New Abyss, is good for a rally? What's a good rally song? To get the people going. Oh no. Okay, I think we're back. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I think we are back. Let's see here. Let's play a song. Okay, we're back. All right, perfect. All right, we're gonna play Meteors. Here we go. Make sure you check out New Abyss, linked in the description as well. It's a good rally song. Let's go. Still don't have any info on bonds though. I gotta address some work here real quick. Just if there's a minute of silence, don't get too mad. I'm operating a business over here. I gotta send some texts. Un momento, just sending a text here. Un momento. Almost done. Yeah, okay. I'm back. I am back. We got Roblox pinned right here, so as soon as that starts trading, we'll see this thing pop off. GameStop is positive yet again. This is a banger. Can I try opening BlockFi in an incognito window? Yeah, sure I can. Let me do that real quick. Anyone who's wondering what I'm doing, BlockFi is the company where you can earn interest on your crypto. So I'm just verifying that new accounts can be made with an incognito window. Yeah, look, it's working on. I'm on the sign up form right now. You can see, seems to be working on my end. That's too loud. Okay, I can turn it down a little bit. Hey, Nubis, is there any samples in any of these songs that is going to cause issues with copyright? Let me know. All right, what do we got going on here? Go to the... Seems to be working for me. Someone says, I got to do assignment in Minneapolis this summer. Good steak or barbecue place you know of? Unfortunately, I've spent very little time in the Twin Cities, actually. I grew up in the middle of nowhere and haven't even really been to the Twin Cities, like probably more than 40 times. Do I need to open an account on Webull to edit charts and do analysis? You can do some stuff without making an account. I'm not sure what the extent is though. Oh yeah, Cameron, I'm all in on GME Apes Unite. My Roblox thoughts. Where my Roblox thoughts at? My thoughts are, if you could buy in at $45, you'll probably be fine. But I doubt you'll be able to buy in at 45. And I think, you know, when it hits 70, 80, 90 bucks when it opens, it's going to be too overvalued. And wait for the dust to settle if you want to hop in. You know, maybe if it opens at 75, it'll probably be 65 2 weeks from now. Just my guess. Robinhood sent me a message and said only closing positions for GME. Let me see. Let me Google this. Robinhood restrictions today. Let's see. Not seeing any news or anything. If you can send me that, if you got like an email or something, screenshot it, send it to me. maxmahershow@gmail.com. No updates on the bond yields yet, or the bond auction. Nothing yet. Roblox open time, I don't know. You know, a lot of times they set open times for these and then they don't actually end up being at that time. So, you know, whatever. All right, GME in the negative again, but only negative 2%. AMC pretty flat. Palantir hanging in there, plus 2%. Palantir kind of had a wild day of its own today. All the way up to 26 bucks at one point. That must have been when I checked my portfolio earlier. There was one point when I flipped on my app this morning and I was up like 19%. GME on clearance. Thanks for the super, Cameron. Oh, nice. Mahalo Aloha says, hey Max, I got my email from Womply this morning to sign documents for the PPP. Done and done. Awesome. Congratulations. I don't know, this might be GME to the moon now. We're seeing new levels of support created here at 234-ish, up 2%. Almost want to just pretend none of this happened today. You know, we're up 2%. If we just saw a slow rise plus 2% today, we'd be happy. But the fact that we saw it go all the way up and then down, that's when we're like, Oh, thank you, New Abyss. $25. You guys do not have to send super chats. I appreciate it. Oh, also, I was trying, maybe you guys can help me out a little bit, tweet at this certain feller. Let me, let me pull him up. I was trying to do an interview with the CEO of KuCoin so I can learn more about their lending program. I tweeted at him, no response yet. Maybe you guys can help me. Tweet at this guy and ask him to come on the show to be interviewed. He's the CEO at KuCoin. I want to learn about their lending and just see how safe it is, see how good of a deal it is. So if you want to help out the show, tweet at this guy and say, hey, go on the Max Maher show. And his at is at LYU_Johnny. Yeah, let's see if we can find the AMC short interest. Why is KuCoin so hard to use? Yeah, good question. It is an absolute nightmare to get into the lending. Oh my gosh. Absolute nightmare. I mean, I think that's probably one of the reasons why there's such high lending rates, because it's such a pain. I wanted to rip my hair out when I was trying to figure that thing out. So this is showing the short volume ratio for AMC to be 17% as of right now. What's the borrow rate at? 7.88%. So that's remained relatively flat. Do we have the shares available? Share 1.4 million shares. How about GameStop? GME, short interest. Let's see. 22% for GameStop. Short volume ratio. I'm just checking into the stimulus vote as well real quick. They said they were only going to do 2 hours of debate, but that was like 4 hours ago. Oh, we got another person who just got the PPP loan. Congratulations. Oh, sorry if you can hear Nancy in the background. So Nancy's speaking right now. Looks like there's going to be a vote here pretty soon on the stimulus for those who are interested in that. Oh, here's a little bit on... let's take a listen to this real quick. I pause the music and take a look at...
Look at is the amount of time spent. I think if we continue to see time spent be stable and even continue to grow some, that's a good tailwind that provides users a reason to keep spending money on that currency in the game.
And this is one that's been mentioned a lot on the Reddit chat boards, Doug. I know you've pointed that out to our producers. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for a company just hitting the public market?
Certainly a good thing in the near term in terms of absolute stock price. I think anytime Reddit gets a hold of something, you have to probably be a little bit cautious. If you're looking at it as a long-term investor, that's always how we think about investing at Loop. And so when you see, like we talked about earlier, a move of 50% in a direct listing on day one, it gives us a little bit of pause about what the near term could bring. But I still think you've got a company that has great growth prospects. They have a very stable user base, and they really own that preteen demo. And so I do think it's a great company to keep an eye on for long-term investing, even if the near term here is a little bit choppier because of that excitement.
All right, Doug, great to speak with you. Thank you. Doug Clinton of Loop. Coming up, Adidas reporting sales growth, predicting a strong 2021 recovery and reinstating its dividend.
Let me pop that down. We also have to remember that guy is getting in at the $30 billion valuation, not whatever valuation your regular retail investor is actually going to be able to get in at. So that is a huge difference. Okay, that's a bit loud. Sorry about that. And 30 billion is still a very optimistic price point. I don't remember the exact price of sales that we calculated, but it was like 44 or something like that. That's very optimistic. So, you know, if that thing goes up to, that's at 45 bucks a share. If that goes up to 60, 70 bucks a share, I mean, you're looking at a price to sales of 80, which is beyond optimistic. GameStop now up 7%. We're looking at a little shallow George W here. Shallow W. Why is no one following the bond yield auctions? If you could send me the dang link to that thing, I'd be happy to pull it up. Email it to me, maxmahershow@gmail.com. I cannot find the darn thing, and I can't just have 10 minutes of silence while I dig for it. I need like a helper or something in here. I do this all solo. My entire YouTube channel now is solo. Let's see here. When we don't know exactly when. 420 likes. No one liked the stream. Don't even think about liking the stream. Someone got their Coinbase account open. Wish me luck. Congratulations on that. We want to be a little bit precarious about our buy-ins on Bitcoin right now, I think, because we're touching peak prices. You know, peak of 57,151. We're pretty close to that right now. So just bear in mind that there could be a short-term correction. Obviously, don't know for sure. It could just spike up. We're building levels of support here. A lot of levels of support around 56,000. So just something to consider, at least if you're brand new to cryptos. If you're buying cryptos to hold forever, 10 years from now, it probably doesn't matter though. Palantir still plus 2%. I'm totally happy with that. Let's just end the day. Let's call it a day. Senseonics back up to around $3. Now, I don't need a bond yield calculator. There's the bond auction today, so I wanted to tune into that, but don't have it. Coffee's not done. This thing's still half full, but thank you for letting me know because I needed a drink of this. Thanks for the reminder. Oh, no, I didn't mean to move that. Also, I'm working on putting together a community Discord for members. So we can expect that at some point in the future for anyone who's like a channel member. Trying to figure out how to connect it to my YouTube. Seems more complicated than it should be. Stay calm, bro. Yeah, okay, sorry. I need to calm down a little bit. I know I get a little bit too hyped sometimes and people get frustrated with my level of hype. How many shares of Senseonics do I have? I don't actually have any shares. I think it's a little overvalued right now, and I hesitate to say that because people get mad at me every single time I say it. But you can check out my analysis video of it if you want to see as to why. Because I don't want to just rag on anything. It's not in the description, but if you go on my channel, the thumbnail says "sell" on it. It's a fairly recent video. Am I buying Roblox today? No, I'm not. I will not be buying it today. I think it's a good company, and obviously it's very popular, probably has great management. I just think the price that we'll be able to get in at today is probably not a justified price. Now, if in the weird off chance that this thing opened and dropped to $30, I think that's nearly impossible. Yeah, then maybe I'd consider hopping in. You got to come in laughing like Trey on a video this week. Yeah, I need to do that. I'll like watch one of his videos and just like do the exact same phrase that he did or something like that. So apparently, someone says I'm so much more calm than Matt. I actually feel like he's very calm. Every time I watch his streams, he's as calm as I am, it seems like. Let's see, bond news. Well, this article says stability in the bond market helps lift major U.S. indexes. Major U.S. indexes are moving higher Wednesday as stability in the bond market translates into gains for stocks. A key measure of inflation was lower than expected last month, helping to calm investors who had worried that prices could rise too quickly as the economy recovers. According to Janet Yellen, she doesn't think she's like inflation who. The U.S. consumer prices increased 0.4% in February, the biggest increase in 6 months. However, a closely watched measure called core inflation, which excludes food and energy prices, posted a much smaller 0.1% gain. Yeah, fuel is going up like crazy. Sucks for my moving company. Spend about $4,000 a month on fuel. Bond yields rose sharply over the past month due to expectations for faster growth and the inflation that could follow. But this actually doesn't give anything on the auction. So I guess there's not even articles on it yet if the auction is done. So we'll check back into that later. The stimulus still has not started its vote. Nancy's still speaking. Miss Pelosi. Yeah. Yep, nothing on the bonds yet. Got your BlockFi account set up. Awesome to hear. It's a pretty awesome deal. It seems to me like BlockFi is the place to go if you're lending out Bitcoin, and if you're really trying to like work the systems, then KuCoin is potentially the place to go. But I hesitate to really say that yet until I've like confirmed everything. Let me pull up my KuCoin account again. This is an absolute nightmare to figure out. So if it all works out for me, I'll make a video like explaining how to do it, because it's literally a nightmare. So not user friendly. At least BlockFi is very user friendly. Like, couldn't be easier. But I have to log in. Logging in. Okay. So this is my, I gotta go to lending. I've barely transferred anything yet because you have to do like wait times. I mean, in order to lend on KuCoin, you have to buy Bitcoin somewhere else, like Coinbase. Wait for the funds to settle, then you can transfer those funds over to KuCoin. Then you have to transfer from Bitcoin to USDT, and then you lend that, and it's just the biggest pain. But because I'm still waiting on more funds to settle, I've only been able to actually transfer $43 so far. But you can see here that I'm currently lending out my $43 of USDT coin at a daily interest rate of 1.28%, which is actually nuts, because that comes out to like, well, that's at 0.146% a day. That's 53% interest a year, which is bonkers, absolutely bonkers. So I'm going to transfer in 10 grand here and see how it works. And if it works well, I'll make a video out of it. Not a dead cat. Oh, welcome, Dana. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Justinian says, Max, I just want to let you know I appreciated the credit video. You're very welcome. Keep me posted if those tactics work for you, because I'm pretty excited about that. About the little hack that I found. There's just so much. I actually even hesitated making that video about credit, because there's just so much scummy stuff about credit. I was like, if I make this video, people are going to think I'm selling something or something like that, when I'm not. It was just, free. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. Cameron. Max, I wanted to mention, aside from GME, thank you for all your help on stimulus, finances, and credit. It means a lot to all of us. I appreciate that, Cameron. I enjoy doing this. Like, it's kind of funny. So, I mean, I've been going balls to the walls on my YouTube channel for the last whatever, I mean really last year, but especially in the last like 70, 80 days. But I'll be here working on videos for like 12, 15 hours, and then I'll get home, relax for like 30 minutes, and I'll just think like, you know, it'd be nice to make another video. I just enjoy it. All right, so GameStop now doing pretty good again, back to 13% positive. Congrats to anyone who bought down here. You're seeing some big gains today. Tyson Foods having a 2% day. I know they were down yesterday like 1.5%, but that's pretty crazy that they're seeing these big jumps. Seems like they're finally getting that steam that they just for whatever reason were missing in the market. So I wouldn't be surprised within the next year we see, you know, prices high 90s, low 100s. I'm probably going to regret not buying more Tyson. I've only bought like $11,000 worth when it was in the low 60s. That's usually my biggest regret with stocks, is just not buying enough. Oh, someone says, I enjoyed your video on gaining 500 clients. That, in my opinion, is, thank you first off, but that is my favorite video I've ever made. I think my best video I've ever made. If you go on my channel and search 500 connections, that's the video. I spent 7.5 weeks just like cold approaching companies to send referrals to my business, and I documented the whole thing. Oh, welcome, Brandon. Appreciate you becoming a member. You're already throwing those emojis down. Thank you very much. To become a member, you just click that join button right next to subscribe. Sometimes it's not available on the app for whatever reason. You have to go on like an actual computer browser. New Abyss, what's your favorite song on here, on your playlist? Can we get a quick look at AM? Yeah, we can. Welcome, Derek Houston. Thank you, all these members joining. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. You guys are the bomb. This is awesome. Antero Midstream Corporation. Let's take a look. All right, let's turn it to Not Wanted. You said that's your favorite song. Let's play that. Wait a minute, you said AM is... Might have to go a little quieter, it's a bit loud. You said AM is a good dividend company, but they don't have any earnings per share, so how does that work? I'm not seeing these dividends you speak of. Welcome, Kyle. Jeez, so many people joining as members. That is absolutely nuts. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Thoughts on tech alternatives that aren't selling off. Example, Oracle. I haven't done like a deep dive on Oracle. Let's just check out. No, they're actually down a little bit today. Down 0.25%. So Oracle, $213 billion market cap. Their revenue per employee is actually lower than what I would expect. P to E of 23. That's actually not bad given that it's a tech company, but I feel like Oracle never really got like the hype that a lot of tech companies did. Maybe that's just my opinion. Might just be my opinion because, you know, we see it, some other tech companies with like P to E's of 100, you know, things like that. But 23 isn't too bad. Under 15, I consider the potential to be a value investment. So 23 for a tech company, not too bad. I'm guessing they had declined sales, or it's okay, it's relatively flat. So that's why their P to E isn't quite as strong. So I would want to do an industry analysis. How are they doing gross margin wise, net income wise versus their closest competitors? But it looks like it could be a good near value play. Yeah, it doesn't seem bad. I mean, it's not like they're going anywhere. So I would want to listen into a few of their earnings calls and see what their future, you know, future plans are, if they're going to increase sales or how they're going to increase sales in the near and long term. But it could be a potential value buy. Okay, so the House vote is happening right now. Yeah, so this is the final vote. Yeah. I mean, we're going to see no Republican support. So chances are this is going to be a win by 3 votes. It'll be a 3-vote margin to win. I would put money on that. But we'll check back in on that in a little bit. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate the super chat. What do I think about the earnings on AMC today? Have they actually come out yet? I don't think they've actually come out yet. It's expected to report earnings today, so I guess it's not definite. After market close. So, a couple hours still. Oh, Roblox is open. Look at that, $68. $70. Roblox is trading. What do we think it's going to get to? I think it's going to go to 85. So see, we're already at, that's actually what we used for the calculations earlier. We used 70 as a price point. We're already at a valuation that is so insanely high. Let me put it on the 1 minute. What's going on here? Okay, yeah, so there's a lot of buy-in going on. What's the volume here? 2 million, 2 million, 2 million. 24 million in the first minute. The street reporting bond sales went well. Good foreign demand. That's good. That'll decrease the price of bonds a little bit. Hopefully give us a little more stability. Not seeing And here's a video on the street. Global stocks grind higher following yesterday's tech-led rally on Wall Street, but gains were capped by concerns of rising interest rates ahead of key reading of February U.S. inflation. Benchmark 10-year Treasury bond yields fall to 1.545% ahead of the $38 billion auction later today. Do we have the update to it? I guess not. Well, it sounds like it was all was well there in the bond market. What happened with GameStop today? Yeah, good question. All over the place. But we're up 10%, so you really can't complain too much. I mean, that is definitely cause to believe some kind of ladder attack or something like that. Like, that is absolutely nuts. I'm sure there were still some retail investors who sold just because they were scared, but... Apple, yeah, I was actually looking at Apple yesterday as a potential investment. I have to dig into it a bit more because we have to remember with Apple too, like you're trying to move the needle on a cruise ship, you know, a $2 trillion market cap. Absolutely insane how big that market cap is. So, you know, it's decreasing from its highs. Why am I not seeing it? Why am I not seeing Apple Computer? APPL. Why is this not? Oh, here it is. Let me just make sure this is the right. Yeah, okay, this is the right Apple. Let me zoom out here. A little bit of a sell-off today. 121 bucks a share. Yeah, I ought to set a price point for this. Last time we've seen price, I guess we've seen prices not too long ago this low. Back in December we've seen these prices, but you know, really, August we saw them again. But since the beginning of the year, we've seen a 50% increase in price. So you have to remember thinking of it in the long term. We're still up 50% for the year. This program is Webull. That's the one that I have pinned in the chat if you want to make an account. Oh, now AMC is flat. Flat right at opening price. GameStop up 10%, PLTR up 1%, so they lost a little bit of their gains. TLRY negative again. TLRY. Okay, Roblox at 72 now. Seeing a little bit of sell in here. I think it's going to keep going up though, at least a little bit more. Thoughts on Palantir? Someone asked. I'm a big fan of Palantir. If you want to check out my analysis of Palantir, in the description, I have an entire breakdown. But I think long-term value, even a realistic price range, in 4 years from now, we're looking at about $110 to $120 a share, realistically. And honestly, if they hit their financial goals, I wouldn't be surprised if it was more like 160, 170. The House vote. Currently sitting at more nays than yays, but again, it'll be passed. It would be insane if it didn't get passed. Insane. Yes, Palantir did just partner with Amazon Web Services last Friday. Well, they announced it last Friday. What are you guys going to be spending your stimulus checks on? Yeah, my Palantir position is now like 40-some thousand. Do I think that Amazon's going to try to steal Palantir's tech like they steal everyone else's idea? I don't think so. I think it's honestly just a great sign that that they had that partnership, because basically, Amazon is this ultra smart, tech company with a bunch of freaking geniuses working there. And they're even like, Palantir does this better than we do it. Enough so that they're willing to contract Palantir. That is mind-blowing to me. And honestly, I think the price for Palantir right now is pretty much where it should be. It's it's a little on the high end, maybe even just, but that's accounting for, growth potential. But I don't think it should be in the $40 range right now. But I do think it, a year from now, 2 years from now, it justifies being in the $40 range. I got a sticky note stuck to me. Someone says, Fintel says there's a 90-day evaluation on AMC, could hit 1K. Have you seen that or heard that? I have not seen that yet. If you want to send me an article to maxmahershow@gmail.com, I'll take a look at it though. More Palantir with the stimmy. AMC, all right, what's going on here, AMC? Another little sell-off. We had a trending upwards W here. Might just turn this one and might just mess around, turn that into a V. Oh, here we got the looks like potentially the vote results for the stimulus bill. Come on.
The House on final passage of the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package.
No, they're still just voting.
Expected to finish work here this afternoon. President Biden could sign that as soon as today. One Democrat voting no on this. Emily Cochran of the New York Times tweeting that it's Jared Golden, Democrat of Maine. Again, a no on the stimulus. He was one of two Democrats who voted against in the initial House bill.
So they're still voting. They are still voting. Let me check my email here real quick. I like this song a lot. It's a solid beat. This music is New Abyss. We have it linked in the description. If you want to go and support him, go check him out on SoundCloud. This song is called Little Steve's Palace. Oh, nice. Just got a message saying someone got $20,000 from their PPP. This is a Weeble. That's the pinned comment above. Let's check out Roblox. Alright, so Roblox is seeing some consolidation, but still trending upwards. I mean, it's really been open for like 15 minutes or something like that so far. AMC getting kind of flat. File your PPP as quick as possible. The deadline is coming. We don't have confirmation that it'll be extended, so if you haven't done it yet, do it. All right, I think I have to call this one. Make sure you're subscribed for more streams. Turn on those notifications because YouTube does not like to send those notifications in. Stay tuned for more videos today. I'll probably have a few more videos today with all this going on with the stimulus. And yeah, like the stream, subscribe. It's free. You can always unsubscribe later if you hate me 2 weeks from now. Anyways, take it easy.